You need to have self-control as a handsome man. When you're improving your looks, your lifestyle, your income, you will attract more women. You will have access to a bunch of women that you probably did not have access to before. And a lot of guys tend to fall into the trap where they feel as if they need to experience every single woman. I'm here to tell you that is probably the worst thing you can possibly do. Just because you're handsome does not mean that you have to go and sleep with every single woman you come across. That in turn will mess up your mind and also your physical well-being as well. I'm not saying you shouldn't have fun and experience the world and women. You should do that, but you should also understand that you should have a standard for yourself and have self-control. Lack of self-control will put you in unfortunate situations such as crazy girls that are attached to you, following you around, stalking you, doing all types of stuff, unwanted pregnancies. You definitely want to be careful with who you give yourself access to, potentially exposing yourself to STDs, STIs, which in turn can mess up your life. Sleeping with a lot of women plays with your mind psychologically, because in the long run, you tend to feel very much disconnected, and it's really hard for you to pair bond with women that you come across in the future due to you having so much experiences with so many different women. You tend to realize that you will be more cold-hearted, less forgiving, and less understanding, or you probably wouldn't value a woman when you're with her because you're so used to being with different women. So to you, she's just another girl, and you can just replace her with another one, and you can replace that one with another one as well. Every single woman that you're with and that you sleep with, you tend to leave an imprint on them, and they leave an imprint on you as well. You may not notice this, but over time, you will slowly realize that every time you have sexual relationships with a woman, you're literally creating soul ties. Those soul ties are in you forever. And that is why I say you have to be very selective and have self-control as a handsome man. Women will try to trap you. Women will try to have your kids. Even though you may meet them and they be like, they don't want to have children right now, or that's not what they're looking for. She's gonna say what sounds good and what you possibly maybe want to hear. When time goes on and you guys start dating and doing things and having fun, you will quickly realize all the things that she said wasn't true. There's been plenty of women I've been with who told me that they're not looking for kids right now, and they're not looking for a relationship. They just want to have fun, and that they're not looking for anything too seriously, which in my case, I'm like, oh shit, cool. Like, that's exactly what I'm looking for. I'm just looking for a good time with no attachments, just an overall good experience. As time progressed, I would always notice how much they would end up changing, because they would do certain things which showed me that what they initially said wasn't true. They would want your babies because they want your genetics. It's in their biological nature to want their best man so they can have the best children, so the children can possibly have the best chance in life. So that is why I make sure that I'm very selective on the type of woman that I deal with, because you can put yourself in a bad situation because of this. I also know a lot of handsome guys who fall into this trap or have been trapped without them realizing what happened, and they end up having kids by women that they don't necessarily want to have kids with due to their lack of self-control and negligence. And falling into that trap can change the trajectory of your life, because you may have had goals and aspirations to do great things and to start things, start businesses, see the world, experience the world for what it is, just live life. But now you are very much limited because you have a child that you now have to take care of and provide for. So that in turn limit your time, and you have to spend more time taking care of them, making sure that they have what they need, and just overall being there for them, which will take you away from initially doing what you wanted to do. Having kids is a great thing if you have kids with the right person. I am very selective on who I allow in my personal life. I'm very selective on the type of woman that I want and that I pursue after. I don't go after every woman just because I can and I know that they find me attractive. I don't do that. I'm very selective, because if worse comes to worse and let's say you end up having a child or getting a girl pregnant, I at least want to know that she can at least be a good mother to my child and that my child will always be in good hands. So that is why I'm very much selective of the type of woman that I am with. Also, I always make sure to keep myself protected and try to lower my risk as much as possible, because having too much fun can ruin your life. You want your life to be as peaceful as possible. You want to be able to dictate how your life is and what happens in your life. I understand in life certain things are out of your control, but the things that are in your control, you want to make sure you have a strong control over them. Self-control plays a huge part in life in general. Self-control is what allows you to be great and separate yourself from the crowd. Because once you have self-control, you don't do what everybody else do. You realize that doing what everybody else do oftentimes leads to you being miserable and depressed, just like majority of other people. You have to realize, since you're handsome, you're a hot and rare commodity. I learned self-control because I realized I did not want to keep dealing with a bunch of different women just because I can. I don't want to sleep with a bunch of different women just because I can. Like, I want to make sure everything I do in life is well calculated and I understand the risk that comes with the chances I take. I do not want to navigate life with a blindfold on. I want to be able to see what's ahead of me and prepare. Self-control is well needed to having a great life and being successful in anything, regardless if it's women, career, getting money, starting a business. Everything requires self-control. And once you realize that and accept that, your life will never be the same. Please be sure to like, comment, subscribe. It's your boy Vivid, and I'm out.